Hello everyone, welcome to Roma Theory. We're back speaking about Feyenoord. It feels like yesterday that I went live the last May for a match preview for the Conference League final, which we ended up winning against this team. It literally feels like yesterday, but almost 1 year has gone by. And 1 year later, we're here in the same position as last year, speaking about Feyenoord. I think it's fair to say we're at that stage. We've come so far. I think it's fair to say and admit that we all have a dream, and the dream is to lift this trophy. And as much as I think since the last round, as much as we really had this, we had this dream, but we were like, it's never gonna happen. You know that there are better teams in this. I'll be the first one to say that I don't think that anymore. I think any of the teams which have managed to qualify for the last 8 in the Europa League have shown that they are capable of winning this. And the Europa League has shown us that it's a tournament full of upsets and surprises, with Arsenal getting thrown out by Sporting Lisbon. So as much as we aren't the best team in this tournament, which we all agree on, I think it's wrong to say that we can't win this tournament, because we truly can win it. We just have to believe in it, and we have to go everything as a group, as a team, step by step, starting on Thursday in the Netherlands against Feyenoord. And look, this is a rivalry. I'm not going to call this a derby, but this is a big rivalry. This is a big rivalry that has kind of exacerbated in these last years, and that's kind of the way it is. Roma hate Feyenoord, and Feyenoord hate Roma. And I think a new rivalry has been born. I think Feyenoord have got a very wild fan base, which is one of the big topics that we will discuss in this match preview. We've got a lot to go through today, in fact. We've got predicted 11, we've got atmosphere, first leg, and all of that. Then I'm going to give you my betting tip for betting experts and betting lovers. And yeah, look, I think they hate us, we hate them, in a way that we started a song against them when we won Conference League. La Roma si el Feyenoord. So it really shows you that. It shows you the reason why they both banned the away days for both fan bases. Why they banned Roma fans going to the Netherlands, and why they banned Feyenoord fans coming to Rome next week. Because, look, Feyenoord fans are dangerous fans. Let's be all honest here. And I just think that they've got a sense of resentment because we've beat them in a final. And then in 2015, we beat them again. And I believe it was the Europa League. And during that 2-leg encounter, something, crazy scenes happened. In Rome, they completely destroyed monuments, and they completely and utterly just disguised about the culture of this city. And a lot of them actually got arrested. They destroyed a famous fountain in front of the Spanish Steps, which now has obviously been rebuilt and all of that. But that's not how you behave. And then when we played at the De Kuip Stadium in Rotterdam, people probably remember Gervinho, very underestimated player in our team. They started throwing banana inflatables at him. So it's one of those games which, it's not going to happen because they banned the away days, but it's one of those games where if you're a Roma fan, you really don't want to get inside Feyenoord fans, because they are wild fans. In fact, they're living a great season. They are first in the Eredivisie. They are beating their big rivals of Ajax. They have, in fact, beat Ajax in a direct encounter a few weeks ago. And they played against each other last week in the Netherlands Cup, which is the equivalent of the Coppa Italia, and Ajax won. They threw Feyenoord out, and Feyenoord fans literally threw pieces of glass, I believe, to Davy Klaassen, an Ajax player who cut his head open. It's not a great atmosphere, and atmosphere, I think, is where I want to drag your attention in this match preview, because atmosphere is the most important danger for us. Because Feyenoord is a great team, But it's not them as a team which scares me the most. It's the atmosphere that is going to be around that stadium on Thursday, which can put us down, especially if they start misbehaving. If they start misbehaving, and meaning that they start throwing things onto players, the match could get suspended for some minutes. And if the match gets suspended, then tensions arise between fans, but not only, between players and the other players. And then the chance of seeing a red card increases. So it's a game which I think is very linked to the atmosphere. The atmosphere is going to be big and wild. We already know that. So we're not going to expect nothing to happen on Thursday. Something is going to happen. But we have to get there with kind of the consciousness that something is going to happen, that the game could be suspended. We have to get there knowing that there's going to be a wild atmosphere which is going to put us down. Because the second we get there with the head ready to expect these things, then we can expect a good result. And then we bring it back at the Olympico next Thursday, and that's where the magic happens. Effectively, what I'm trying to say here is that a draw on Thursday in the Netherlands would be a great result. Great result. A win would be majestic. A draw would be sensational. Maybe not. Maybe it's the opposite, because sensational is better than majestic. But you get the point. Speaking about Feyenoord, and then we'll move on to our side and the predicted 11, I want to speak of the evolution of this team. Because the evolution of this team has been big. When we faced them the 24th of May last season, they were a completely different team. And I mean a really completely different team. And I've been reading articles about Feyenoord, and basically the overall concluding statement about the difference in the evolution of this team is that in terms of player-wise, they were better when we faced them last season, but in terms of the way they play, they are better this season without the players they had. They had Senesi, which they sold to Bournemouth. They had Luis Sinisterra, Colombian winger, which they sold to Leeds United. They had Dessers up front, who's now a Cremonese player. They had Guus Til, who is now an Ajax player. No, PSV player, I believe. So, in fact, I was reading that in their entire team, only 6 players in the current team were part of the squad, which played in Tirana in Albania the 24th of May. Which shows the mind that they've gone through a revolution, and that the revolution is bringing benefits because they are first in the league. And as much as they lack some players which they used to have last year, they play better. They're a fast team. They're a fast team. They play fast football, and counterattacks are going to be their main killer. And then I want to speak about the manager, because I'll be very honest here. The manager is preparing a plentiful of mind games against us. Plentiful of mind games. This manager is still feeling that salt in the air, because the second he lost that final, day in and day out, he's been not talking crap about Roma, but trying to put us down, trying to prepare and haunt us with his mind games. Effectively, what he said in his latest interview is that Roma play the same football as Tirana, and that he would rather watch Napoli play football. And that is him playing mind games. So what I can say to him, you bold goblin, behave. You lost against us, and if you do all of these mind games and lose again, it'll be very embarrassing for your team, and especially for your bold head. So I just think we gotta get there knowing that he's playing mind games. But Mourinho's a master at mind games. Mourinho is a master at reading mind games, and Mourinho's a master at counter-attacking mind games, which I think is very positive. Right, I think we've had enough about speaking about them. This is not a Feyenoord fan channel. This is a Roma fan channel. Moving on to our team, our predicted 11. It's basically, I've been studying this predicted 11, and I've come up with this. Which has some, it has a lot of question marks. My big question mark is, do we play with a striker or do we play with Dybala as false 9? My general comment on that would probably be, I don't want Dybala as a striker, because it's going to be a physical game, because they hate us, so we have to expect a physical game. And he's not physical. And the second reason why I don't want to see Dybala as striker is something which I mentioned in the match reaction of when we played Dybala as a striker. When we played Dybala as a striker, we're basically sacrificing his talent and what he brings in the midfield section to put him in attack. In this game, it's a game where we have to defend our result, and our defense is capable of doing that. But if we have the chance to win it, we have a massive advantage. And if there's one player which can turn the game around in a tough stadium to play in a wild atmosphere against a team which hate us, it's Paulo Dybala. And I think we have to exploit his talent, and we have to place him back to where he belongs. I don't want to see Belotti because he has no experience whatsoever in these games, and I want to see Tammy Abraham. So, starting with the predicted 11, Rui Patricio in goal. 3 defenders at the back. I don't think we'll change formation. My 3 defenders are Smalling, Mancini, and back with Ibanez. I am back with Ibanez because, in fact, this is my big question mark. I'm not sure if he will start or Llorente will start, because Llorente is playing really well. It's coming from 2 clean sheets. Problem with Llorente, I think, is that he's slow. He's slower, at least, than Ibanez. And I think in a game like this, where they're going to hit us in counterattacks, and where I personally think we have to defend the game and avoid their counterattacks, we need a fast player. But then you kind of contradict what I'm saying and say, well, Ibanez falls into too much pressure and the atmosphere is big. And I would fully buy that statement. Problem is, I think Ibanez, Smalling and Mancini know each other well. Ibanez is faster than Llorente, and they're going to play fast football, so I'm placing Ibanez back in defence, who needs a good performance to kind of cancel those both Derby failures. So that's my defence. 4 midfielders, Zalewski and Spina on the fullbacks, no difference there. My 2 midfielders, I've gone with Matic and Cristante. Why have I gone with Matic and Cristante and not Gini Wijnaldum? 1, because we've got to defend the game, and 2, this is more of an outsider, but Gini Wijnaldum is a very, very big Feyenoord fan, and he has said it himself the second we drew Feyenoord in the Europa League that it's going to be hard for him to play in this stadium. And Gini's a professional. I love the guy, but for a player who's a big fan of a team to play against that team and play a good game, it's something which is never going to happen. So if Gini is a big Feyenoord supporter and I put him in my starting 11, it means that Gini will not play a good game, not because he wants Feyenoord to win, but because he feels that admiration for the team, and therefore, as normal, because life is like this, human beings are made like this, he's going to have a rush of emotions, and he's not going to perform in the best of ways. So I want to keep it still. Let's prepare a good defensive block in front of our defense, and let's go with Matic and Cristante. Matic has to start, because he's rested against Torino and he's got that experience which we need. And we love his composure and stuff. So Matic has to start. And then in attack, Pellegrini back with Dybala next to him. There is no chance Pellegrini's going to bench this. Really, there is no chance. And I know a lot of you here don't like Pellegrini, and because he's not been playing well. But trust me, that Mourinho loves him. And I think it's that game where a captain is needed. And I know Pellegrini's not been playing well as a captain. He's not shown that leadership. Look, to make it in simple terms, I think it's one of those games where Mancini is needed 100%. Because Mancini is, and I know Pellegrini is the captain, but I personally think it's that typical Mancini game where he will be the leader instead of Pellegrini, even if he doesn't have that armband. But Pellegrini will start. So Pellegrini and Dybala behind Tammy Abraham. It's a big game for Tammy because he needs a good performance. Is it an assist? Is it a goal? I really don't care. I just want a good Tammy performance. The last time he played in a Europa League game, he provided a great assist at home against Real Sociedad. And he played a good game in general. So I want to see Tammy. I don't want to see Dybala as a false 9 because we're just wasting his potentials. And I think we need someone like Dybala in this team. Because we have to try and get something. At the end of the day, I think the big objective of Thursday is obviously to win the game. That's the biggest objective. But I think the main objective is not losing. Because if we draw, we bring it back in a stadium where I say it every time, it's no matter who plays in it, it's a tough stadium to play in. So, it's that Olympico magic. Sold out stadium, you get the point. 70,000 stadium people at the stadium. I just think we have to avoid losing this game. And that's the big thing. We could draw this and I'd be happy. We really, you get the point. Right. Moving on to my betting tip of the game. This is a new feature which I've added to these match previews. I was thinking about this. I was there. If this is obviously for anyone who likes betting and all of that. I was thinking, and when you study these betting tips, you look at stats and you look at the complexity of a game, and this is a complex game to predict. It's a complex game to predict because it's the first out of two legs. And I'll be honest with you, if I were a betting person in this game, if I were to bet something, I think it's too hard to predict a winner in this game. It's the first leg of a quarterfinal of a big tournament. And in the first leg, it's you don't know how the team is stepping it. So I personally think it's one of those games where predicting a winner is so hard. So I'm not going to balance myself and say, I'm not going to outbalance myself and pick a winner for my betting tip. What I am going to give you as my betting tip is a draw at halftime. And I will justify it. I think draw at halftime is the most suitable bet in this because it's the first half out of four halves. And normally in the first half of four halves, because it's two legs, so we've got 45 minutes to play, in the first 45 minutes out of four, the teams normally study each other. The teams normally study each other and therefore don't fully attack. Feyenoord are going to attack more than us because they're playing at home and they need that result. But I just think that with our good defense and added to the fact that in the first half of the halves, the teams normally study each other, trying to get an understanding of what is going on in their minds, what their plans is, and who wants it the most. I think it's going to end as a draw at halftime. So that's my betting tip. A draw at halftime. That's my betting tip of the match. But yeah, look, bring it on. I'm scared, Simon. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that because we're capable of beating them even in the first leg. We're at that stage where we really have to avoid being scared. We have to show our balls and we have to show why we're here qualified in the last stage of this tournament. It's a dream of everyone winning this. But to win it, it's a step-by-step process. And before thinking about winning it, before thinking about the quarterfinals, the semifinals, you got to focus on the quarterfinals. It's a step-by-step. It's two legs. The last time we faced against them, it was a direct game. Who won, lifted the trophy. Who lost, ended up losing. This is a two-leg. It's different. We're playing at home the second leg. So there are a lot of positive aspects to think, but at the end of the day, it's football. They're going to have a sense of revenge and resentment. If we win, we advance. If we lose, we get out. I mean, obviously in the space of two legs. So I don't want to hear I'm scared because we've got this. We're gonna go through this together. Live watch along on Thursday, so set reminder and come back. And Mourinho's press conference reaction tomorrow. Anything is possible. To be honest, I've never thought we'd make it past Salzburg, and I definitely didn't think we'd beat Sociedad. It can happen. Yeah, Simon, this game is not easy, especially with this squad fighting for top four as well. How on earth can we put in excellent performance every 3 days? I've never said it was an easy game, mate. It's a very hard game. What do you think about De Gea to AS Roma? Sure, why not? But he's going to renew his contract with Man United, I believe. Ibanez doesn't handle pressure well. Yeah, that's the big question of this lineup. I fully agree on that. I've been thinking about it, but I think tactical-wise, I think Ibanez is faster than Llorente, and you need speed in this game because they're going to rock it. Definitely not a 4-2-3-1 because, as I said before, we got to defend the result in this, and I think playing with 3 defenders at the back fully does defend the game. Belotti started in a win over Salzburg and the draw against Sociedad. He might start because he's more physical. Good call. Good call on Gini. Appreciate that. Pellegrini's numbers are tiny this season, but his work rate is what we need for this game. I agree. And look, the Belotti statement is actually a good one. I'm actually rethinking about this, but I'm gonna keep Tammy because I don't know. It could be that Tammy masterclass game. Feyenoord will attack from minute 1. It's gonna be nerve-wracking. It is. Look, Mourinho's press conference tomorrow. And live watch along on Thursday. As a reminder, it's a very, very, very important game. So I will catch you very, very soon. If you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Everyone here, you got to smash that like button in the stream. Because if you don't, you're not supporting the team. And if you don't support the team, Feyenoord will beat us on Thursday. And at the end of the day, Odio Rotterdam, Odio Rotterdam, Odio Rotterdam, Odio Rotterdam. So yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow. Smash the like button, subscribe to this channel and my second channel. Link is in the description below. And if you want to be added to a WhatsApp AS Roma Theory fan forum, send me your phone number with your country's prefix over at info.thesimonShow@gmail.com. If I missed someone, it's probably because I either didn't get the country's prefix or somebody didn't send me the email. I've added everyone that I've received contacts with. So I'll catch you very, very soon. Simon, out.